Hi, this is Jim Morin. Welcome to Siena's Chalk Talk. The topic today is evolution to the cloud. I like to think of the cloud as just another data center. And so we'll start by thinking about what is a data center and what's inside the data center. So as we think about the data centers, it really is a collection of servers, of storage devices, and some networking. So the next thing we ask, what is the data center really used for? And the data center is really used for applications and information. The applications are really how we run the business. It could be your supply chain management application, customer relationship management programs, enterprise resource planning, even email applications that run on these servers. So the storage devices can be network attached storage devices that house our files that typically we use every day in Microsoft Office type of applications. And they could also be on fiber channel or SAN storage, which typically runs your block I/O traffic for databases and for these other higher level applications that need better performance and better throughput. The next thing in the data center we'd like to talk about is servers. And servers started with mainframes. They've now evolved to x86 type of servers that are running your Windows and your Linux and Unix types of applications, and now are being driven into the 90% utilization range by using something called virtualization software. And the virtualization software logically divides the physical server into logical entities, which are called virtual machines, each with their own application and with their own operating system. The next aspect I'd like to talk about is networking. And the networking comes in some different flavors. The first flavor would be connecting the server to the storage, and this can be done via Ethernet, and typically we've seen implementations of gigabit Ethernet up to 10 gigabit Ethernet now in the data center is increasing amount of penetration. At the same time, we also have a network that is providing the user access to the data center facilities, to these applications that we talked about earlier. And so this user access is also a very important part of the network, and is typically implemented with your router and switching infrastructure. Now, the third type of networking that we'd like to talk about is where Siena comes into play, and that's connecting these data centers and the network between the data centers. And why would we like to interconnect these data centers? Well, there's a lot of applications associated with the data protection. So deploying an alternate site for disaster recovery, for connecting to the remote data center. Maybe that might occur because we have mergers and acquisitions, so we have multiple organizations, multiple data centers in the organization, and we need to move workload and information around the organization to be productive. We started off saying the cloud is just another data center. And in this illustration, we see that the user is connecting to this cloud, and it looks much like the data center that he would normally connect to within his facility, but now it's being provided somewhere else, and where he really doesn't know where it's located. And he's attaching in the first instance as a software application. So he's running a software application, which is called software as a service, in this cloud data center rather than in his home data center. Now, in this environment, we're using all the same technology, but what's different is the business model, in that the user license is being deployed on a per user basis, and it's being billed as a monthly service rather than as a capital investment to acquire the servers, to acquire the software, and to, of course, maintain this equipment and software license. The next step is evolution to the cloud for infrastructure services. And with infrastructure services, we're really talking about an order of magnitude more information flow between the data centers, because it's a machine-to-machine types of transfer, which could be up to terabytes of data for any particular workload. Siena's vision is extending the infrastructure as a service to a concept that we're calling data center without walls. Data center without walls means that we're virtualizing the data center capacity. That's distance independent. Now, when we do this, we need a network that can connect the data centers over a metro distance as well as a wide area distance. We need a network that can scale to whatever workload that we want to put on it, and ideally scale on an on-demand basis so that it can dynamically adjust to the differences of the workload migrations between data center locations. This network needs to be secure, it needs to be reliable, it needs to have the lowest latency and the best throughput for the money. In summary, we've seen that the cloud is a collection of servers, network, and storage to get workload done on an on-demand basis. And the bottom line for that is being able to drive greater efficiencies into IT so that this computing environment really delivers more application performance to the users. Ciena's cloud solutions and partnerships can change the way that you compete.